Hey, Zombie Jaw here. I thought I'd do something a little different. I'm going to be covering the controllers that I use. I'm a pretty big fan of like having different types of controllers, their designs and whatnot, and I got a few to talk about, I guess. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. Um, I'm going to start with some of the easier ones to get those out of the way. Like for PS4, I have just like a standard controller. You're gonna notice I do have grips on there. These grips I get on, and you're gonna see that on every controller. I use it on every controller. It's got like these little bumps up here. I like it because it gives a little more grip to it. But I get those on Amazon for like a decent sized pack, like 10 pack or something like that, for like $7.99. It varies. It all depends on who's selling it at the time. For Switch, I have quite a few controllers that I use. I use this one from time to time. It's the Splatoon 3 Pro controller. I had the original one, um, like the original Pro controller. But I saw this design and I really liked it. It was possible to get it, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going for it. I'm getting it, and it's a solid controller. It does the job when I need to use it. I mean, I like it because for certain games like shooters and things like that, with the stick positioning, it's really comfortable to use that. For PC, I have a Series X controller. Um, I like this one. Obviously they upgraded it to where like you can plug in USB-C. I got the rechargeable battery in there, so that's what I use for that. Um, Again, I got the grips. It's. I mean, you've heard a bunch about all these. They do the thing. The only thing I think this still has the stick the D-pad problem that they had in the beginning, where it's so close together that it will accidentally hit other inputs. I don't use it for any rhythm games. When I do use play rhythm games, I use some of the other controllers that I have. So, but I figured I'd get some of the obvious ones out of the way, and then the next ones that I'm going to talk about, which I mean, I guess you can say I'm a bit of a fan of the company. I got a lot of I got several of the 8-bit do controllers. This one I use. This is the SN30 or SF30 Pro. Um, I use this quite a bit. Most well, I mean, not well. I use it a lot. I say that, but I primarily use this when I'm playing like Super Nintendo stuff, or um, when I'm playing like Stardew Valley, things like that. I have different games I'll play. There's some modern games I use. It's comfortable for a while, I guess, because it. I mean, it's there's nothing down below to grab, so it's as comfortable as it would be, say, using an actual like Super Nintendo controller. Um, the one of the drawbacks to this for me is, and okay, so first and foremost, let me talk about the triggers right here. You got two here. You got another set right here, which is LR, and then they say L2 R2, but obviously it's ZL and ZR and whatnot. Um, One of the drawbacks is, and I'm not a big fan of it, but this is because mostly I have to stop and turn around and look, or flip the controller over and look and everything. Is this one had different input, like so you'd have to hold start and then hit a different button for each input. This covers switch D input, which D input I'm not familiar with. It's got X input, which would be like your Xbox. So it'd be like for like PC, and then you got your Mac input, so you can like pair this to. I mean, I'm guessing a Mac computer. I can't test that, but I have been able to pair these with the iPad. So, but this is. I mean, I like this. It's got the Super Famicom like theme to it. I don't think it's available anymore, but I believe you can still get the buttons from 8-bit do. So that's. I mean, this is like I said. This is one of my favorites. Like this was actually my first 8-bit do controller. If I can close this. Um, I don't remember if I got this next one before or after my Pro 2, but is the M30. I guess it helps if I actually make it to where it's visible. This obviously, I mean, it reminds me of. I mean, I personally saw this as like similar to like the 6-button Sega Genesis controller. I think, and I don't have experience with this. This might be similar to like the Saturn controller. I don't know. I've never had a Saturn. I never got to hold a controller. I've never even got to play the actual Saturn. I would love to own one day, but I hear it. I've seen that it's a bit to collect for as well. But this is a pretty comfortable controller as well. And again, I forgot to mention it with this. But both of them have like there's like a star and a heart. One's for like this would be like the home button right here, and then this would be like the screenshot. The other had like the plus, and the start and select, which would be like the plus and minus on Switch. This has this as well. This would be the start button, and then down here being the minus button. Now these buttons right here mimic the shoulder button, like a couple of the shoulder buttons, and then X, Y, or X, Y, A, B, X, Y. And then you got a couple triggers up here. Again, this one plugs in through USB-C, rechargeable, which is nice. This does the same thing where you got to hold the start button and then hitting different buttons depending on what input you want. And again, using the same inputs as the SF30 Pro, which there was an SF30, which that was mimicking. I don't remember if it had all the shoulder buttons. I don't know if it just had the two of them. That didn't have the thumbsticks. I actually got this roughly or short after this one came out. Like I was a huge fan, because I was like, oh, I love it. I had a purpose for it at the time, and I mean it's gotten a lot of use. But then this was like the second one that came out. So they had the SF30. And this is the SF30 Pro. This was a M3 or M30. There hasn't been any others. I don't know if this is still available or not. This one I know is not. They have different variations of this, like different colors. But this exact one is not available. I don't know. I don't know if it's because Nintendo said, "Hey, can you guys not do that?" I don't know. The next two are absolute favorites. I use them probably the most out of all the controllers in my collection. That's the Pro 2 controllers. Now, all these are Bluetooth, by the way. So, like I said, they can pair to PC, Switch. I saw there might be something to pair it with PS3. I cannot confirm nor deny that. I'd love to find out because I need a PS3 controller badly. I've got PS3 games I'd love to play, and the controller I have is no longer working, so I've been looking for a substitute of something that would allow me to use the home button. Granted, I know I can use a PS4 controller, but I'm getting on a side tangent here. Anyways, this was the first Pro 2 that I got. Love these controllers. I waited until this is available because like when this came out and the reviews were starting to come out, I noticed that a lot of people, it was hard to get this one. It was not available. So I was like, they had a version. I don't know if it was just a Pro controller, or they called it that, or what. I forget what they referred to it as. But this is the Pro 2. Again, you see I got the thumb grips, and I'm about to pull the thumbstick off again. So this is one of my favorites. Like, I use both of these. Oh, this one opened differently. I forgot. Oh, man. New packaging. I forgot about that altogether. It's a little different. This is the newer controller. Oh, yeah, this is way different packaging. So this actually came with thumb grips. I didn't use those. I tried them, but I didn't like them because I didn't like the grip on them. It wasn't to my liking, so I used the ones that I normally use. So I got this. Obviously, I got this one because of the color. I liked the transparent purple to it. So these are great controllers. There are some drawbacks, but I still like them. Like this. So this one has like a classic PlayStation, like a PS1 DualShock feel to it and look to it. Obviously, it's not exact. But the buttons are even colored similar. I don't know if it's visible there. You can kind of see they're not on par. Like they're not like right where the other. Well, I say par. This isn't golf. It's not like right where the other ones are. Like this one should be down here. This should be here, I believe. This should be here, and then this one should be here as far as coloration. Because this is the green. This is like the bluish, grayish. This is the orange, and then this being the red. But maybe again they were trying to avoid Sony being like, "Hey, dude, like you guys are kind of pushing." I don't know. I that's just me pulling out my butt. And then again, this is the transparent purple. Again, this doesn't have, this kind of has like almost a barely visible marking next to the buttons, saying which one is, A, B, X, Y, but the buttons aren't marked, whereas this one the buttons are marked. Different, or this different being different from the first iteration of this controller is this has the back buttons, which I have yet to use. Back buttons, which I have yet to use. Another nice thing is they now, I mean, and this is like a quality of life edition right here. You can switch between the different modes opposed to having to hold a button combination. It's nice. Also, it comes with a replaceable rechargeable battery compared to the other ones, which if you decided outright that you know what, I don't want to use a rechargeable battery, you actually have a spot to put regular batteries too. But they also sell the rechargeable batteries, which I didn't even look. I think it's like $5.99, I believe. These are prices in North America. Or well, yeah, North America. Yeah, I said that right. Never mind. But yeah, like I said, the one thing that gets me with these controllers, not a big fan of, and it bugs me, but like I still use these controllers because I love it, is I feel like this button right here, the L2 would be, is sensitive. Like it doesn't take much for it to register an input. And I mean, because I'll be sitting there and like I'll just rest my finger and then boom, I bump it. And like it's just like resting my finger and it'll, my character will start doing something. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't press anything. And that's that though. So it's not terrible, but I mean, it's not, definitely not enough for me to say, forget this controller. Like I said, I use this for, I've been switching between both of these for a lot of my playthroughs recently. Like I know like my Thursday playthroughs with some of my classic like stuff on the Switch, I've been using this. I've also been using, which we'll cover this in a second. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to go through the entire boxing of this here. Come on. You know what? I'll do that later. So next is like my last controller that I'll be talking about, because the other ones, I've got a couple others that I overall don't use. They're just kind of like, they were fight sticks. I thought they were cool. They were fun, but I haven't been using them. They're in storage now, which sucks because I spent a decent amount of money on them. Next one is, again, from 8BitDo. their 8BitDo arcade stick. Now this, I was like trying to find a stick that I can use for, say, like Switch. This was a positive because I could use it on PC as well. Get this out of here. Well, let me just get all this stuff off. I get that out of the way. Second, turn that around. So this is what I used. I've used this on one of the games that I played so far on Thursdays. I don't have tons of experience with this because like I got it and like it's a hefty boy. It's got some weight to it. On the back, it's got like some rubber pads. I didn't know this, and I did not see this in any reviews. That's what kind of set me back, because I went and bought. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I don't know where it is right now. I'll have to, but they have like, so you can plug this in, and you can connect to this, right? If you don't have Bluetooth or something, right? I didn't know that, right? And so I bought one of the adapters that they have for the Bluetooth controllers. So I bought one of those, and so I've got that as well, which is it comes in handy. Like I have the Microsoft version of that, or like the Microsoft dongle for Bluetooth. I use that for my controllers, which eventually that'll stop working, and I'll have a backup. I'll use the 8BitDo one, or 8BitDo. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. So then again, this charges through here as well. See, way back in there, right here, there's a USB-C for charging, so this does charge. This has a cable. It came with a cable. I just use mine. I plug into one of my USB-Cs. But you can switch between Bluetooth and the 2.4 gigahertz, which I only use it for Bluetooth, so it is what it is. Um, you get your start select, your P1 P2. I have not had to use these. That's obviously going to change at some point here because I'm going to use it for PC. I mean, I can use this on PC and Switch. I've primarily used this on Switch, but you have I have not messed with this, so I couldn't tell you what that is. I apologize. I know I should like know so much about this. I don't have much like use with this. I'm still kind of getting used to it. I mean, like I changed this had a ball top to it. I changed it to a bat top because I prefer bat top with my fight sticks. The one thing that drew me in. So okay, real quick, right here is great. This allows you to change the stick to the left stick, D-pad, or the right stick, which is great. You got your buttons here. The big thing that pulled me towards this is the one thing that bothered me, because I know a lot of people, they get by, it's whatever. But the one thing that bugged me, and I say that because, in knowing that I have some of these controllers, like obviously when you're switching between like Xbox to, or like an Xbox controller to like a Switch controller, these buttons are all reversed and everything. But the big thing that sold me on this was being able to change. So that's where it's set for Switch, and you can see your inputs with your ZR, ZL, and whatnot. And then you can switch it to X input or Xbox. I mean, this only works on PC versus you cannot connect to Xbox, but you can switch it over to where it now is lit up. Oh, it tried to connect. It tried to, so now it has X input. So it has, the different, left trigger, left bumper, right bumper, and I think I did that in reverse. And then again, these switch, and that's one thing that gets me. Again, that's it's funny because I can use these controllers on PC and not think about what I'm pressing. Whereas this, I think this is a little more confusing, probably because it's like the way the buttons are set. Okay, please stop trying to connect. Okay, there, it's done. I haven't, like I said, I haven't used this on PC yet. I will be, definitely. Like I said, I primarily used it on Switch so far. I've used it on one playthrough. I've messed around with some fighting games, like Dragon Ball FighterZ, things like that. One of the setbacks, and I'm gonna have to take a look at this myself. I'm not a fan of the stick. I feel like it's a little too loose. Might have to get another spring to tighten it up a bit. I mean, it does what I need it to, but I just feel like it's a little loose. So I'll probably end up seeing if I can't get another spring that'll tighten it up a bit, or what. But I mean, overall, it's a solid controller. I mean, the 8-bit do. That's the right, yeah. The controllers, they're all pretty sturdily built. I really like them. They're a great price. They're affordable. This is less than $100 that I got it for. These are around like $50. These were like $40 each, I think. This one might have been 30. This one might have been 40. I forget which, but they're pretty good controllers. I mean, they're the ones that I've been using. So I mean, I usually leave in the description which controllers that I'm using. Just to give it a heads up. I'll list if it's the Pro 2 or the M30. Or the SF30 Pro, which again, there are different variations of this, like different colors. That might not be this exact one. But you can get some of the different buttons and whatnot and replacement parts on their website, which I just recently found out, and I'm happy. So I'll definitely be ordering some stuff like that, and any changes I make to any of the controllers, like if I change out the buttons or something, I'll definitely see about doing a video for that. That way, if anyone is curious how to do it, they'll know how to do it. Or if they're just curious on how it looks. So, but yeah, that's the controllers that I primarily use. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.